We're making our way down the story arc now to what's known as resolving action, or in the French, denouement. Once you eliminate the impossible, whatever remains, no matter how improbable, must be the truth, deduces Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, the creative genius behind Sherlock Holmes. Once the hero in the story makes the decision to resolve the conflict, the story turns on how the problem should be resolved. Sound familiar? Once we make a decision to resolve a claim, the action focuses on the steps necessary to close it. Bill Zachry has a perspective on this very point in his presentation, Someone Got Stabbed. As a senior fellow of the Sedgwick Institute, Bill conducts research and thought leadership on insurance industry issues. He serves as senior advisor to Sedgwick's workers' compensation practice group. Bill has previously served as vice president in risk management for Safeway, the third largest retail grocer in the United States. Bill was previously appointed by Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger to the board of directors of the State Compensation Insurance Fund. He has also served as the chair of the State of California Fraud Assessment Commission and has served on the board of Self-Insurance Security Fund in California. Bill attended both Stanford and San Francisco State Universities, where he obtained credentials in business administration, personnel and industrial relations, and wage and salary administration. I give you Bill Zachry.
Good morning. It's good to be here. My introduction to workers' compensation was as an injured worker, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about the story and what it has done to me and how it impacts me on a daily basis. And so my father passed away 2 weeks before I graduated from high school. I had to put myself through college. I had a great job. I was a playground director in Daly City, which is right next to San Francisco State. Worked an hour and a half every afternoon, worked 4 hours on Saturday, and had a full-time job over the summer. It was great. So one day, November 8th, arrive at the park, and there's a bunch of kids. It doesn't look very good. So I put on my red Daly City jacket, and I go running over there to see what's going on. I see there's two girls fighting. So I went to break up the fight, and 8 guys attacked me. I don't know why they attacked me. I mean, it wasn't that dramatic that these two girls were fighting. They would now attack me. But they were all about this tall. And they're all karateing ineffectively. And so they're, a little over here, please. You know, that's good. And then one guy kicks me pretty hard. I turn around towards him. And somebody turned out the lights. Not the lights, turned out the sound. And everything went slow. And I turned around to this guy, and there was somebody holding him back. And there was a knife in the guy's hand. And I thought, oh, this is not good. Better get out of here. And there's the clubhouse. I better get over to the clubhouse. I don't know if you remember the $5 million man, where he would run slow motion as if it were fast. I was running slow motion, and it was slow. And the guy, they were hitting me with belt buckles, swinging their belts at me. I get to the clubhouse. I'm trying to unlock the door to get inside. And I can't do that because they're hitting me. So I turn around. Boo! Boo works. They all jump back. I had no idea the boo would work so well. But they all jumped back, gave me time to unlock the door. Now, I had been told to report all injuries. Do I call 911? No, I call the office. I'm put on hold. Meanwhile, the blood's about like this. I'm going, this is not that good. Finally, John comes on. John was my boss. I say, John, there's been a problem at the park. He goes, what happened? I go, well, somebody got stabbed. He goes, what? Who got stabbed? And I said, well, actually I did. He goes, don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. Okay. I'll stay. Now, the geographic area of the park is very interesting because it's basically a square block, but a corner of that is the fire department. And I can hear the fire department go, and they bring a hook and ladder out into the street, sirens going, turn right, turn right, turn right, and bingo, they're in our parking lot. In come these guys, they're all excited about it because nothing's been happening the whole day. And they say, who's been stabbed? So I'm there. They say, where's your medical kit? Now, Daly City's rec department had used ace bandages and dirty green soap, and that was all they had. So I said, we don't have one. They said, oh, that's okay, we got one, we're good. And so they had a great time with the medical kit for a little while. Ambulance comes, takes me off to Mary's Health Hospital. In we go. In comes the doctor. He says, you know, I'm Dr. Cradgen. I'm a board-certified surgeon. And every time you hear that, you know it's like nail and hammer thing. I'm the nail, he's the hammer kind of routine in terms of he's a surgeon, I'm a candidate, right? And I'm thinking, and he says, what we cannot tell is whether or not the knife just went through the edges or whether it really went in there. We need to go and find out. And so they wheel me into the operating room. The nurse says, you know, my son plays at your playground. I said, really? And then I'm gone. Some hours later, a angel of mercy in all white wakes me up and says, cough. I don't know if you've ever had surgery, but what they did is basically they opened me up from here to here, looked inside, said, oh, look at that, that's pretty good. Took out my spleen. The knife had gone through the back, through the lung, through the diaphragm, through the spleen. I was in the hospital for a week. Fortunately, that was a Monday, so I only missed 4 days of accounting. Otherwise, I probably would have failed the course. But I passed all the courses that year. A couple of months later, I went back to work. This is not the jacket I had when I was stabbed. Carlos looked for the holes in the back, and they're not there on this one. They kept the jacket in the hospital. I never saw that one again. But when I went back to work, I went with this. To tell you the truth, for the next several months, because this was the holiday season, I had a very, very difficult time going out in crowds because I had an unreasonable expectation that I would be hit in the stomach by some kid. Doesn't make sense, but that really worried me. It's one part of those things that go through your mind that you don't really realize. You know, you're playing with your mind a little bit. Very interestingly, my very first job, and oh, by the way, I litigated the claim. Why did I litigate? I loved Daly City. I loved working there. I wanted to sue the guy who stabbed me. So I went to an attorney, and he basically filed a workers' comp claim, which I wasn't very happy about. Daly City was very gracious. They gave me an award for bravery. I think it should have been an award for stupidity, but you know, I was very grateful for how they handled me and what they did with me. Small world that it is, the State Compensation Insurance Fund handled my claim. I am on the board of the directors for the State Compensation Insurance Fund now. Every time I tell a little bit about this story, the very first question the examiners or somebody at the State Fund asks is, how did we do? They did great. They really did the best they could to take care of me. I got really, really good care. I had a lot of people visit me in the hospital. It was a pretty good deal. Let's fast forward a little bit. When I joined a very large retail company, I walked out on the claims floor and realized in the first few hours that every single examiner, every single process was set up to deny things and say no. The second day on the job there, I walked out in the claims department and I said, your job is to take great care of the injured workers. Your job is to do whatever you can to take care of them, to make sure that they get well and get back to work. That is what you are here for. And that is what my mantra has been, no matter where I have been, because I have found that by doing the right thing for the injured workers, what happens is you actually end up with a much lower cost in the workers' comp system, plus it is better for the injured workers. It's amazing how well that works. At that company, I took $108 million off the workers' comp budget annually because of what we did. My expression was to the examiners, you bend over far enough backwards, if you have a rug burn on your forehead, you're just about right. which is a really hard visual at times. But it's important that we do whatever we can, we do it right, we do it well, we take great care of the injured workers and get them back to work. Thank you. It is a passion for me in terms of doing that. It has been my experience taught me what it's like to be an injured worker, but my experiences on the job have taught me what you can do to take great care of the injured workers. And that piece of the puzzle is the part that has to be the focus, that has to be the drive, that has to be what we are, because that is what we are here to do. So I want to thank you very, very much for the opportunity to be here and to share that story, but I want you to really take away the idea that what is our focus here, and our focus is really to take care of the injured workers. Thank you very much.